I might as well. Okay, okay, Kat, for your request, I'm recording. So, so warm market is really the secret sauce of rollovers and index universal life. This thing won't sell if you're dealing with cold market. Um, Cold market, which means you're really just marketing through people that you don't know, and obviously that's not our system. But if you want to do that, that's still possible. But the only things I believe you can sell with that market is when they're looking for cost and you're trying to give them the cheapest one that they could buy, right? And this is term, final expense, and standalone long-term care. But when you think about index universal life, where it's a value product, right? Where you're trying to get a juvenile policy, and having them use that as opposed to a 529 plan, and then obviously a fixed index annuity. That normally is because fixed index annuities normally this represents their all their savings their entire lives, right? So this is their big money over here, and unless they feel like they can trust you, they feel you're competent, they know you're going to pay attention to their money and pay attention to the process. Uh, that's the only way. That's the only way we're able to get more of these in. So just so you know, guys, this is going to be like your go-to resource over here. So what I did was I started naming some slides what I call duplication essentials, because over here I also break down how the commission works for IULs, or pretty much basically insurance, and then fixed index annuity commission, how that works too. And then you got here your key performance indicators or your business metrics, which is what we want to be able to preserve in terms of our standard. Um, Recruit to point ratio uh, is sort of like what we average. This is the basis of our. That's why I had to bring up warm market, because this is where the bulk of your business is going to come from. And without recruits, you're pretty much just going to be selling. So these come from recruits and their top 25. Just just know that and understand that, and you get these things faster, unless they're like one of your clients, and it's a referral. Now, some people think that a client's referral is not internal consumption. Your client, you want to treat them as if they're your base shop too. Okay. um, yes, they're not yet licensed, whether they're coded or not, but you want to treat them as if they're base shop, because they believe in the product, and you're their agent, right? Same thing with your recruits. They believe in the product, and you're their agent. The only difference between the two, your recruit's supposedly going through licensing, and they are supposed to give referrals anyway to complete their 3 or 10K. So just know, and Kat and Jay are doing spectacularly amazing utilizing this. Wherein you have some well trusted baby boomers in your market, whether it's parents, aunts, or uncles, or anyone within that 60 to like 70 range, or 55 to like 75 range. uh, that can generate a lot of business for you guys. So recruit to point ratio, that means for every one recruit that you bring in, if they buy from you, if they're married, they also, their spouse also gets a policy. If they have kids, they got juvenile policies, and maybe they got some old 401k IRA sitting around somewhere. But this is company average is about one recruit 3,000 points, but because we're a high producing team, we're at about one recruit 5,000 points. And that's where Rich Tholley wants us to be on his coaching session. He wants our team to be at one recruit 5,000 points. This is the pace that the Fombos are doing, just to let you guys know. Average agent production, just like in just like um, when you think of when you're building an agency, obviously there's going to be the top 5% or the top 10% of the team, but you average everyone out, it's going to come out to about 20,000 average agent production. Okay, which means if you have 10 agents, on average, including yourself, you guys should be producing about 200,000 points per year, right? So that's kind of like the average. It's kind of like very close to what we do. We do about close to 600,000. We did about 580, rolling 12. EMD is actually 750, just to let you know, because we're at about 29 licensed agents, right? So I guess when we get to 35 licensed agents, we should be able 35 or 40. That gets us to EMD. So I'm just giving you guys ideas on how you should be looking at the macro of the business. Recruit to license is basically what this means is every time you recruit 5 or 10 people, you wanna be able to float within the average that 40% of those recruits are passing the exam. At least 40. You want to get to 50. We want to work our way towards 50, but at least 2 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 4 out of 10, right? That's where we want to get to. We're not there yet, but that's what we're moving towards. And then morning, Robbie, TR. The other one is net point ratio. This is a little bit hard to understand for someone who's brand new, but especially those of you guys who are running for senior marketing director. The company is very strict on NPR. Every time you submit business, you get production points out of it. Now, if they get declined, they're subtracted from your gross production, and that becomes your net production. So if the total points you submitted is shows up 10,000 points on a bulletin, and then let's just say 1,000 points charged back or cancel a policy, then your net point is just 9,000. So that's a 90% net point ratio. Just to make that clear, okay? License to net license. I'm sure you guys already know not everyone who gets licensed actually does business. Sometimes people just pass the exam and they just stop doing anything, right? They just want to pass the exam. That's as far as they could go. There's a secret in the business that when someone makes at least $1,000, they actually stay active for 2 years. That is a company statistic, and we don't know the reasons why that is. That's human nature based. But if you can base it on that, those 2 years, you actually have time to get them to conventions, get them to elite circles, field train them, build them a team. So in your head, you almost buy yourself time to be able to build them, build them a team, get them field trained, help them build experience. But the way we're able to lock them in is, number one, obviously get their agent promotion, get a team under them, and number two, help them become a net license or someone who actually sees at least $1,000 of commission come through their direct deposit. So those are the key performance indicators, right? 1.5 million base through first is whether that 1.5 million comes from your base shop or your SMD's first generation. You want to get to 60 agents, you want to crack $500,000 a year. Okay, that's sort of like the secret. So your 3 gets 3, their 3 gets 3, or your 5 gets 5 and their 5 gets 5. Whichever way you want to do it. I've never seen someone have 60 directs, just to let you know. So you're either tap rooting deep or going wide and then geometric progression. So that's the first time I talked about this. Maybe some of these things kind of like go over your head, but the main purpose I wanna go to this just so you guys know that because of those key performance metrics, that's how we're able to drive business through here, the IULs and fixed index annuity. And so I'm gonna go on to something that some of you maybe already know. I showed this to some of the SMD to Bs. When you go to the company website, right, all the applications, all the training that's required, there's only one location, right? You go to menu, you go to recruiting and selling, product and providers, and then sales resources, right? So for Donna and PR, unfortunately, your website still doesn't have this. Once you get licensed, appointed, that's when you transition from the WFG Direct website to the mywfg.com website. Now, we haven't used Crump ever since they got out of the fixed index annuity responsibilities. But it turns out Crump has some new features, and I'm just going to go over these features real quick so you guys can see that. Basically, these three are platinum providers on the insurance, Transamerica, Pacific Life, Nationwide, so they all have their direct link from inside the WFG website. But as far as Crump, there's three parts. There's three things here, right? Self-serve illustrations, vital LTC comparisons, vital code comparison. I don't know why they call it differently, but basically these are IUL side by side from other companies, long-term care side by side, term insurance side by side. Okay, well, let me show you real quick what I mean by that. So let me open up these self-serve illustrations. So on the IULs, Index Universal Life, if you want to pull up like multiple quotes from the different insurance companies, all you gotta do is, so let's just say, excuse me for a second. Okay. So let's just say I have a Jane Doe here, right? Female, date of birth is 12/25/1980. Okay, lives in California, and then doesn't smoke, prefer non-tobacco. So when you go here, and there's like a bunch of choices, whether you wanna project income for the IUL, or you want to have the IUL for accumulation of money, or just design it for protection. For those of you who do have access to it, I recommend you guys just play around with this so you can be familiar with it. Okay, so let's just say we're just doing protection. Protection means you want to see what are the premiums based on a, let's just say, $1 million policy. So we'll go here. As I say, there you go. The default is $1 million. I'm going to change the premium mode to monthly. Pay premium for life. There's a bunch of options here. Someone texting me? Okay. And then you can click on LTC Rider if you're looking for the companies that do have LTC Rider. You can also click on Chronic Illness Rider, because some companies, they don't have LTC, but they do have chronic illness. And then we'll just include couples discount, right? So this is just the default address. It should show up there. So Jane Doe is 52 years old, and this thing loads, should load in about 30 seconds to 1 minute. But at least you kind of like know that just in case someone gets declined, my first go-to is still Nationwide, only because of, you guys all know, I'm a big fan of the cash indemnity part. Okay, now you're gonna see here, these are all the companies. See that? These are all the companies that have it. So I'm just gonna check each one of them, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna see the premium. the premium um, of each carrier in the product based on $1 million policy with Accordia Life, with American General, with Allianz, Equitable Life, John Hancock, Lincoln Financial, North American Prudential, Principal National Life, etc., etc. This takes a while, though.
AG, is this
Yeah.
new? I had just seen it this morning. I was on the Crump site this morning and I saw this. I was running these. I was doing the same exact thing you're doing right now.
Uh
And I
huh.
hadn't noticed it. I don't know. I haven't been on the Crump site for a while, but is this? I don't remember it
Yeah.
being there
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's I've never
Yeah.
seen this before.
Okay.
They didn't have this before.
Yeah. It's
Um,
pretty cool.
so let me just shorten it because it might drag too much. So again, what it's gonna do is it's gonna run an illustration. Um, I don't know why it's taking so long. Let me I'm gonna take out it might have been confused because I checked so much stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna um take these out just so it's just pure IUL for now. But it's gonna show which one has long-term care rider. Um, and you'll notice here there's like a bunch of products that are available, and you're gonna see the initial annual premium here. But all of them here are $1 million death benefit. So I'm just gonna put this on the side real quick as we're waiting for that. We'll wait for that illustration. We'll wait for that to populate. And as we're waiting for that, so that came from here. Okay, self-serve illustrations. Okay, let me just show you real quick. See how they're gradually populating right now. Are you guys seeing my screen? You guys are seeing my screen. So they're gradually populating right now. You see how some of them have like a big contrast on cost? Like Allianz is like 16,400 a year, and then Mutual Omaha is like 5,000 a year. See that? So there's a huge discrepancy in terms of cost. Okay. Now, if you're looking for a long-term care rider, then you can do the extra legwork to be able to look for that. Does that make sense? Okay. Now that was the only thing I wanted to show you guys that this officially exists. If there was a way that we could plug this into a website that someone could just punch in their numbers and it shows up there, um, that would be awesome. But like I said, Index Universal Life is a trust based product. Okay, because there's a lot of details around it, a lot of stuff that um, most people don't really pick it up right from the get go. Um, so it requires a little bit of extra explanation when you're talking about IULs with long term care or living benefits rider. So that's the first one. The second one, let's look at this real quick, and I think this is really super timely because, as you guys know, um, if you're in the Elite Circle in June and you played that recording played by June, both of us picked that up on our training with Rich Thawley, and that's why when you guys saw Leah's presentation back in last Wednesday at our BPM, you guys remember her presentation when she started with the statistics that 800,000 are going to have stroke, 800,000 heart attack, 1.9 million gonna have cancer. All those stuff. Those have got to be your talking points right now as you transition and sort of like explain what you do, right? Because that's sort of like the why of what we do. So if someone asks, well, what do you do? Well, and then you start, well, you know how 800,000 people are, did you know that about 800,000 people are going to have a stroke this year? And another 800,000 are going to suffer from a heart attack. And you probably see this, but you know, I was surprised that there's about 4.5, half, or almost 4.5 million are gonna get injured in a car crash, right? We got Donna here, one of the victims of a car accident, and then you probably all know of someone who got diagnosed with cancer, whether it's in your family or one of your friends. There's gonna be 1.9 million, close to 2 million every year are gonna be diagnosed with that. So this is your opening conversation points. This is the why, and because most of these people are going to survive, but they're going to be unable to work, can't pay the bills, can't provide for the family. So you want to introduce the concept of what the living benefits of life insurance, which can either be a term or a permanent plan. Okay, that's your go-to. This is now our crusade. Our crusade. Now this slide, which is going to be shared to all of you, in case you need some stuff. I have a copy of a long-term care payout here. I have a copy of a critical illness payout here. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of a death benefit claim, but at least we have that as a resource. So just to let you guys know. So now going back to Crump, you now have a long-term care. Same thing, just like the IUL, long-term care, standalone long-term care. So what you want to do is full LTC comparison here. You click on next. There's really just two products: Mutual of Omaha and National Guardian. I'm not sure if there's more in other states. Let me just check. Let's check. Minnesota. Oh, it's still the same.
Okay. AG, I was gonna say do Minnesota. I need to know what I'm working with.
yeah. So yeah, it's just these two products, all products. So when you click on, this was my last one I illustrated, but let's just say same thing. Jane Doe, and Jane Doe is 42, female. As I say, she's preferred. Payment mode monthly. Benefit amount is the monthly benefit amount. So some people are gonna look on this in terms of a daily benefit. So let's just say someone's looking at $150 a day. That's $4,500 benefit amount per month, right? As I say, she's married. So when you go to here at the bottom, there's an option wherein you get to choose whether the benefit is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. So I'll just say 5 years. And then there's an option from 3.5, actually 2% all the way to 5% compounding. If you want like a inflation protection, which means the what do you call this? This benefit amount actually increases based on that. Elimination period you could have for 0 days or 60 days. Of course, 0 days becomes really, really more expensive. The higher your inflation protection becomes more expensive, the longer the coverage becomes more expensive. You guys already know that. So real quick, when I click on next here, oops. You gotta select the products. Yes, so. Okay. And click on next. And voila, it's going to show you the premium over here. See that? 267, 297, 342. This is for a 42-year-old. This is a total long-term care benefit for 5 years. and then there's like a 3% compounding inflation protector. But just to let you guys know, this has no death benefit. Okay, if they pass away without using the long-term care, this money goes back to the insurance company. Okay, that's the difference between the IUL, and this obviously doesn't have any cash value. You can try running this and then compare it with a nationwide IUL or a Transamerica or Pacific Life with a long-term care rider. There's probably like a little bit of a price discrepancy, but at least you know what's the purpose between the two. So that is your standalone long-term. Now, if someone's going to ask me, how do we process the application? I'm sure just like with Nationwide, Transamerica, and Pacific Life, the applications are inside their website. So you got to go deal with the whoever the Crumb guy is. Who's the Crumb guy? It's on the website. Here, contact. Yeah, whatever that guy is. The guy.
Brian Metzger.
Yeah, Ryan or Brian?
Brian.
Sir? You know, I've heard of that name before. Yeah, Brian Metzger. That's so hard to pronounce. Metzger.
Yeah,
okay.
Metzger.
Yeah. So, he's the dude to check how to submit applications. I'm sure you want to avoid paper applications. You want to stay with electronic applications. Last one, Vital Code is where you run term illustrations. Okay. So, it's me. Let's just say I want to apply for $1 million policy. Okay. What's this? So, oh yeah, here. I'll look at standard plus and preferred. And then, 4-year? So you can choose here 25, 30, 35, 40. And basically, all of them are selected here. So when you run the report, it's going to show you all of the premium and how long's the coverage. See here, like a 30-year, a 30-year, a 30-year, and it's going to show you the premium. I think you can change the order from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. There you go, highest to lowest. And this is the preferred, and this is the standard. Does that make sense? So you get all of it, and now you're able to kind of like, you know, pick and choose what you want. If you want to just look for the lowest term, but obviously these term policies don't have living benefits. Unless they do, you're gonna have to do your extra due diligence based on that, because right now I didn't select any riders. I'm sure there's a part where you could select any of these riders. So that's it. As far as how you want to be able to start using Crump moving forward. So again, Crump can be found inside here under menu. Go to here, click on Crump. It takes you to this portal dedicated to WFG, and then this is where you complete your contracting with the product providers. If you're looking for like brochures, there's somewhere here, and then these are it's here, marketing materials. So when you click on that, they just got a bunch of stuff over here. And there you go. Easy peasy. You got your IUL comparisons, you got your long-term care, and you got your term. Easy enough? Okay. Any questions? That's all I want to cover for today. I might have a little bit of bonus. One last bonus. Just want to sneak this in. Okay. Going back here, this is just to let you guys know, this is my personal go-to slide when I'm doing a one-on-one. If I had an appointment, this is the slide I use. I don't use the slides that we use at a BPM because I have here a bunch of different stuff. So it's just because I'm sending you guys a copy of this, and this is something I recently added. But before, when I do a presentation, I just go straight to the example of like the payout of these living benefits, and then I tell the story of my one of my friends, Dolly. I have the presentation here of life insurance, right? I have a presentation here about Joel. Um, I actually have here, and again, for someone, again, that's not everyone, but if someone's looking for the compensation, I have that here, right? That's why I told you about one agent normally equates to about $1,000 a month per agent. 30 agents, and that's why we're averaging about $30,000 a month. I have a sample IUL here where it's broken down 150 to the life and cash indemnity, $200 to the savings and index. And then I have here it's the order of buckets, the free money, tax-free money, tax-deferred money, and taxable money. But the one thing I want to show you guys is the updated version of the fixed index annuity with Nationwide. Okay, so the main purpose really of fixed index annuities, the reason why we do big rollovers is we take people's 401k plans and we put them on a fixed index annuity. If they're around 65, 66, 67, then their 401ks normally float around 500,000 or more if they've been saving for quite a bit, right? Now, for us here in California, especially with my wife, Bem, getting involved with this, we have a market that we've constantly tapping into, which is Kaiser Permanente, and it doesn't mean that they're the only one that's that way. I know of someone, their market is Cedar Sinai Hospital. I know someone, their market is Boeing, right? You can do this with Microsoft, only because these companies have both a pension and a 401k. UCI, right? They have those. If so, when you actually help a retiree from those companies, you're normally rolling over two lump sums, the pension and the 401k. But real quick, this is one of our recent clients with Jason and Kat. This is a $590,000 rollover. The check should be in the way. Probably they're going to get it maybe next week. And but here's what's going to happen with that $590,000. Okay. As soon as that money goes into Nationwide, they get a 20% bonus. So from 590, that goes up to 708,000. It was 10% before. It's 20% now. 20% now. Now, just to let you guys know, this is not their contract value. This is what's called the income base. But you will not find this word from any product, which is the word guaranteed, as Charles Barkley says, which he always gets wrong. Guaranteed, right? So guaranteed, it means this client's money from 590,000 is guaranteed to be 1.5 million in 10 years. 10 years. As far as what? The withdrawal base. Withdrawal base. Now, what is withdrawal base? Withdrawal base is when someone decides to take out income. It is nice. Okay. That's the basis of the money that they're gonna get. So it says here, if this person decides to not take out any income, right, this 590,000 will become 1.5 million after 10 years, and it's going to pay out a lifetime income of 80,000 a year. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. So now this client's not going to do that. She wants to start pulling out by year 2 or 3. So what that means is if you see this 8% here, this is an 8% compounding interest starting from year one. So they get the 20% plus the 8% after 1 year. So after 1 year, they get a guaranteed about 28%, a little bit more because the 8% is compounding that plus 20%. If you guys understand what that means. And every year, this continues to compound. And there you go. You get to 1.5 guaranteed. Market goes down. They don't lose any money. So this is the withdrawal base. Now, if I go forward to this where you have so many numbers on an annuity illustration, I'm going to do my best to try to explain every number. This is the age. This is the year of the contract. When you see accumulation value, that's not this 20% or 8%. The accumulation value, this money is also tied to an index, And if this index performs better than this 20% plus 8%, then their contract is going to follow whichever is higher. Is that good? That's awesome. Okay, so as the index grows, and this is just the previous performance of this index, the contract values is how much they can take out. So just like life insurance, annuities has what you call a commitment window or a surrender window. They can withdraw money. But if they decide, oh, you know what, I want to take out all of my money because I want to put it in my savings account, one, they're not going to get all of it because the annuity company or the insurance company that holds the annuity, they're actually taking the risk of guaranteeing this money, right? And for that risk, they have to hold your money for a certain amount of time. So if you want to take it out over here, oh shoot, even though your money's at 725, you can only surrender 634. So don't worry about that. We normally never surrender stuff. I'm just telling you what this is about. Same thing, the death benefit over here is whatever's the accumulation value. So again, it's not, this is the withdrawal base. This is the 10%, which is, 590 becomes 708. And then this is the 8% compounding. Now, why did this stop over here? Because this client decides to withdraw here. Because she didn't wait until it's 10 years, her lifetime income is only $40,000 a year. However, if the market does continue to go up and her money actually goes higher than this withdrawal base, this increases. Her lifetime income starts a new lock. So whatever this lifetime income is, this is guaranteed for the rest of her life. But if somehow the market moves up as she's taking out money, like over here from 835, it went up to 890. So now this is her new withdrawal base. Now this lifetime payout percentage, this goes up every year until she starts taking withdrawals. That's why here it's locked in at 4.9 because she decided to withdraw from this year. And so for the rest of her life, she's only going to be taking out 4.9, but of whatever this high point withdrawal base is. Okay? So it can go up to 40,000 to 44,000, 47, 50,000, and on and on and on. Now, this is based on the historical performance of this earnings growth percentage. This 590,000, if she lives till 94, it would have paid her close to 1.4 million, and when she passes away, it will still have a death benefit of 1.369 million. So if you add 1.3 plus 1.4, that's 2.7. Essentially, this 590,000 paid out 2.7 million in terms of what? Lifetime income plus death benefit to her children or grandchildren or whoever's been designated as a beneficiary. But still, that's what an annuity does. Does that make sense? If this was a pension plan, if she died here and there's supposedly like 820,000 here, this goes back to her employer, not to her family, right? If this was a 401k and on her 5th year the stock market crashes and from 800,000 this becomes 400,000, 4.9% of 800,000 is 40,000, but 4.9% of 400,000 is only 20,000. But she still has the same bills. Does that make sense? That's why you want to roll over a 401k and you want to roll over a pension so you can get the death benefit and the protection from the stock market crashing during their retirement years. That's the purpose of an annuity. So that being said, this is going to be a while. Well, we explain this more and more that you guys are going to, gradually understand it. But I just want to let you guys know that right now, nationwide, they kind of like they have the highest payout. Unfortunately, they don't allow clients to take out money on year 1. They have to take out year 2, right? And the way you overcome that, for example, someone's rolling over $500,000, and so you just ask them, okay, how much do you need to use for the first year? Oh, I just need 25,000. Okay, we'll leave the 25,000. We're gonna roll over 475,000. That's how you do it. Okay. So I hope that I was able to get you guys a little bit more information on how annuities work. Again, just a quick summary. We have our go-to duplication essential slides. We also have that new feature from Crump, so you can do the IUL long-term care and also term quotes. And then these are the new rates of nationwide new heights as far as for income. Thank you, Donna. You're welcome. So again, let's tee it up. We're closing on the halfway point of August. We want to be able to really just finish strong. Those of you guys who are obviously running for promotion, you guys are being accountable and just keep it going. If you guys need any help doing illustrations, Jason Laurel's the expert on that.
No problem. Can help with that.
But you guys can have fun the rest of the weekend, but not too much fun. Right? Let's go out and help some families. Have a wonderful afternoon, and thanks for hopping on. Take care. God bless.
Did you have a quick question for you?
Yeah, go
Everyone
ahead.
else can leave if they need to leave. But no, I was just wondering, what is a Annexus? Do we do anything with Annexus, or where does Annexus fit in with?
So Annexus is the one that designs the how these annuities pay out. So they're the one that designs normally it's the index that they design, or
They
how
designed it. Okay.
yeah how the annuity grows. So they actually designed nationwide new heights. They also
Okay, I
designed
see.
North American Secure Horizon. So it doesn't mean they designed all the products inside a company. So Annexus is kind of like, their description's always like, we're the McLaren of Mercedes, or we're the Shelby of Ford. So if you have a Ford Mustang and it's a Shelby, that's like different from just your Ford Mustang. Same thing, you have a Mercedes, it's a Mercedes with a McLaren engine. That's kind of what Annexus is. So you have a nationwide annuity, nationwide annuity, but with an Annexus engine. And Annexus is only available to less than 2% of financial advisors. So the products we offer, specifically this nationwide annuity and Secure Horizon, if less than half of the population have financial advisors, it's only accessible to less than 1% of the population. And so we're the primary driver of this thing, so more and more people can learn. Same thing as, maybe you guys don't know, the statistic on living benefits of life insurance. In case you guys didn't know, less than 2% actually knows about that. So for every 100 people you know, 98% of people don't know that life insurance have living benefits.
Hey,
Got
G,
it. Got it.
I have a question.
Yes. Fire away.
Quickly on the New Heights annuity
Yes.
nationwide. I heard that, well, they told me that one of the selling benefits of it was that they could pull or decide when to take money at any point within the year and get the credit and interest up to that point. Meaning that, you know, I have a client that she wants to wait a year, but let's say she wants to wait a year and a half or 2 years,
Yes.
2 years and 7 months.
Yes.
And they were saying that if she wanted to do that, she has the flexibility to do that, and instead of waiting a whole cycle of a year to get that interest and benefit and compounding, and they'll calculate up to the day or basically or the month that she wants to start.
Exactly.
And other
Yeah.
annuities that are not designed by Nexus can't do that. Where they'd have to like either roll back to the previous year's amount of
Yeah.
withdrawal base versus getting the whole new year. So they said that flexibility was a key selling point, I guess, with this one as well too. That they don't have to wait a whole anniversary year to get that new benefit, new withdrawal base. Is that what you heard too, or?
Yeah. So if you guys, I'm gonna explain what Mac was saying with a little bit of a visual aid. Now, outside of this first year, which we're in to get this, 20% plus 8%, what Mac was saying, all annuities has this roll up value, like this 8%, but nationwide, if you decide to withdraw over here, this 8% compounding, right around halfway through the year, it probably has compounded half of what it's supposed to compound in a year, and you decide to withdraw right around here, they're gonna give you the interest up to this point of that 8%. So whatever it compounded up to that point, while other companies, if you haven't hit the, let's just say, second year anniversary, you're not gonna get that 8% interest. You're only gonna credit that at the anniversary. But with Nationwide, whether you're gonna take it out or it's a death benefit, you pass away or the client passes away, their beneficiary will get whatever is the interest up to the day either the client dies or the actual annuitant up to the day they decide to start taking out money. Yes, Matt, that's actually accurate. So yeah, that's one of their selling points. David Parker actually tells a story that they had a client who had an annuity sitting with another company, and unfortunately the owner passed away after 10 months, and whatever was put inside the annuity, that's the only thing they got after 10 months. So whatever was the premium, it paid out the same amount without getting credited any interest, right? So for Nationwide, they're gonna get credit at any point wherever this, how this went from 590 to like 1.5, 1.5.8 million. At every point here, it's probably like at 1 million here, 1.2 somewhere here. They're gonna get that number, whether it's for lifetime income or death benefit. Yes, Matt, that's correct.
Yeah, thank you. Because I just assumed that most companies work that way by default, but They were saying that, yeah, people sometimes don't explain that. And then when something happens or an emergency happens and they need income now, they can't wait for the whole anniversary year. They lose out and they don't find out till that actually happens to people in other annuities where they
Yeah.
don't get any credit for the whole year that they've been waiting, like 6 months into it or something like that. Or like you said, death benefit.
Yeah.
You know, it rolls back to the previous year's amount, you know, if you don't finish that whole current year, which could be a lot depending on how much money you have in there. So it's just
Absolutely.
flexibility.
Absolutely. That's correct. That's correct. Thanks, Mac. Thanks for bringing that up. So yeah,
Hey, Jade, it's
yes.
Tara. I have a basic question more than McConan, but I appreciate that answer that both you and McConan gave in that example. But my question is more on the lines of if someone does have a 401k, because I have not done annuities, and they do have a pension plan, they can roll it over at any time.
No, Kara. So you can only roll over a 401k based on 3 events. The first event is when they get terminated or when they leave the company. Okay. The second event is when they retire. The third event, and this is not all companies, some companies, I would say about 5 to 10% of companies don't allow this, is when they turn 59 and a half, even if they're still working. So that's what you call an in-service rollover. If someone's 40 years old, still working, you cannot do any rollovers. A pension plan, you can only roll that over when someone actually retires. Sometimes a pension plan, even when someone leaves the company, they actually can't roll over it until that pension plan is vested, which most of the time is based on an age of a person. So I have a client who worked at 2 hospitals and both had a pension. He's left this old hospital for like 15 years ago, and there's a pension in there. And he was 62. He said, I can't touch that pension until I'm 65. So some pension plans, even though you left the company, you still can't touch it. The best way to find out is to call whoever's the company that's holding the pension or the 401k if they leave already. But the basic rule for 401ks is really if they leave, terminated, or they turn 59 and a half for a pension, when they retire or when they're fully vested, if they already left that company a long time ago. So those are the only 2 times we could actually roll over money. But that doesn't
Thank you. I
mean,
see. Yeah.
yeah, if someone has an IRA is not part of a group retirement plan. An IRA, your client has full autonomy out of that account. So if they have an IRA, it's no different if they have cash, a CD, they can use the IRA to purchase an annuity.
Got it.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
okay, same as if they had cash. Oh, there you go. But thanks for that question. That's a good question. It's the only way you
Great
can
answer.
complete a rollover. So that's why I tell everyone your primary candidates for rollovers are 59 and a half and above. And the bulk of our clients, I would say about 90% of our clients are 59 years old and above, as far as annuities. And it's you'll start seeing that if you're able to tap into this market. And sometimes it just takes one client in that organization, and they know a bunch of people who's there with them, and they're all retiring too. You get one of those, sometimes it becomes a popcorn effect. I did this with forgot the hospital in LA. It started with one client, and I ended up like having like 5 clients referred to me just because of that one client who did a rollover. So St. Vincent, but that was a different reason. St. Vincent was a hospital that was filing for bankruptcy, right? And everyone had to roll over their account over there. So yeah, because we were ultra aggressive as far as following up with the first client, as far as referring us to other people, we were able to roll over about 5 accounts from there. Okay, everyone good? Trust me, you guys are gonna learn more when you start putting these plans in place. This didn't happen to me overnight. Um, but just know that you're gonna have that support to be able to explain these things from us all the time. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon. Take care. God
Hey,
bless. We'll see you guys.
Thank you,
Yes.
AG.
I
AG.
too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
you.
AG. Thanks for
Happy Saturday.
Thank you.
Saturday.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
Kat,
Bye,
I
guys.
hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
I'll stay
Bye,
here.
everybody. Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good
AG,
weekend.
you too, PR. Did you resubmit Tito Cesar's IUL for somewhere? Transamerica, right?
Transamerica.
You okay?
Transamerica.
He's in the process then, because I just like you want to take advantage of that popcorn effect with Tita Alma, but I know we're not gonna answer referrals till we finish everything for them up. So, I definitely want to tap into the
Yeah.
referrals on there, but I know you said let's finish everything for them so that they can know the customer service and everything, so that we can start asking for referrals. So Tito Cesar, because he was denied, we were going to resubmit under a different company.
Yeah,
Because
as far as that one, that's like a whole new process again. And when they receive, because Tito Cesar's gonna already get his contract as far as his annuity. I think at that point we could start with that whole process.
Okay.
Yeah, because since this is but we're still gonna obviously press forward with Tito Cesar's application.
Okay.
Thanks.
And then Tita Alma's and new is going to be funded soon, and then they're unqualified. The status on that one?
That's the unsuitability.
Oh, that okay. So then we
Yeah,
have to.
there's like a long list of questions,
Okay.
and I got dizzy when I saw it. I just saw it like yesterday, so I just had to take a little bit of a breather.
Okay.
Like that's all.
And
I told you about that one.
I'm sure you went through that, Jay, because it was an annuity process with Tita Connie. So anyway,
yeah,
Wasn't that bad actually.
yeah, I'm just pushing to get everything issued by August. That's just my goal.
yeah, same. So that's why I was like, I want to make sure we take care of them, because that's obviously our source of referrals is that demographic.
Uh-huh.
And Nina Connie has her niece, which I'm trying to push as well, but I have to drip on that niece. She just responded. What did she say?
She said she's ghosted. Basically, she said she's ghosted.
Oh yeah, she got ghosted a little bit. Okay, well we'll slow down on
But
that
she's
one.
working on it. But
Okay.
All right, then. Okay, I just want to know where we stood on there, because I want to make sure that they feel like we finished up. with
Yeah.
that.
It's I'll follow up with him as far as I'll send him an update on that.
Okay.
So that because we're gonna as soon as they get the packet, we want to be able to visit them just to walk them through it, yeah, that's how you want to build that relationship too.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay,
all right,
Take
thank
care.
you.
a lot of stuff, but good stuff.
Yeah, we gotta go get the radar on. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
No, you
Okay,
too.
bye, Robbie.
Bye.
Catch you
Okay,
later.
bye.
Well with your eyes.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.